So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Mecha chapter here. Because the team that designed this one is right up there with the Pogo chapter for being the most like a standard RPG. In terms, you're going to do battles, you're going to get some levels, you're going to upgrade some equipment, you're going to get party members that come in and out of your party, you're going to get plot and pathos, because you can't have a good JRPG without a lot of pathos. You will no longer need new mecha music after this chapter. You will no longer need it. And expect just about everything in this chapter to be a nod to something else. Just about everything really is. You have warning. You have fair warning. I don't know what all the references are. I mean, I'll obviously know some of the easy ones and such, but yeah, they're a good amount of references we're going to hit with this chapter. Yeah. So, I see Lady Mage has not joined us yet, which is too bad. She will likely just have to catch the video on demand or whatever to actually experience the glory I am about to bestow upon everybody. Heavy use of sarcasm here. In the not-too-distant future lives a boy with the power to read others people's thoughts. His teenage years are troubled, and he gets into many fights. And yet, over his shoulder silently watches a sleeping giant, the robotic Bariki Dio. And we begin with a pair of eyes staring at us. And it asks us if we are happy. And just so you know, that is just a little taiyaki, a fish pastry. That is the cursor for this chapter. Are we happy? Well, you know, we could be happy, we could not be happy. It actually serves no real purpose other than to get a slightly different speech immediately. Let's tell it we're happy. There are plenty of people who aren't. I was preaching a bit, wasn't I? Well, listen to my story. Maybe you'll understand. And kid crying out for dad. This is all a cutscene. A cutscene with text boxes you have to push out of the way, but you know, cutscene. Gun shot off in the distance. And the boy finds his father laying in a pool of blood. After getting shot. By then, he'd already passed away. As the captain of the riot police. Yeah, he's not a Watanabe. He was involved in a skirmish with the violent gang known as the Crusaders. He couldn't have known. Time passes. And we see the young boy and his sister here. Coincidentally, the young boy who was kneeling over his father there were the pair of eyes at the very beginning of the video. Just to clear that up, because the game does not clear this up. The game does not directly fill in a lot of things and leaves you to infer most of it. And please tell everyone your name. And the young boy is named Akira. Take a guess what referencing they're going for there. And his sister Kaori. Everyone be nice to them. And the kid in the far back is named Watanabe. Did something cut out? Yeah, Manzinger C starts with giant eyes. Watanabe is kind of a jerk. And the eyes are back now that we know his backstory. Once he started living with his sister at the Chibiko house, he started to acquire strange powers. Like I can read minds and moves objects without touching them. So, dude here has gained psychic abilities and is named Akira. You know, there's nothing going there. And this is try pressing the Y button to read people's minds. And if you just try to advance text normally, you don't get it, do you? Try pressing the Y button. You don't get it. So it's telling you press the Y button here. And you get a slightly different and we have the near future chapter called Flow. So again, we turn to Akira, who is napping on a park bench. We can try to talk to the birds, but all they do is that little pigeon quail at us. So anyway, we can talk to people. Like, man, do I ever love parks. But we also can press the Y button, get the flashy eyes, and get the real thing they're thinking there. Said he isn't a kid, but he's worried that the Taiyaki guy hasn't shown up yet. And the old dude doesn't like us. Because he thinks we're one of the skull punks. Who we will meet the skull punks in a second. And Akira here is certainly not one of them. But just tried telling an old guy that. Also, this guy isn't a fan of public displays of affection. Or is he? Back in the younger days with his missus, when he and his missus used to hang out on park benches and hit on each other. Your eyes are as blue as window cleaner. I don't think you're as smooth as you think you are, dude. I really don't. Yeah, taiyaki, it's a fish pastry. Basically, a fish-shaped pastry. And the woman is secretly thinking she's just such an airhead. Because progressivism. And this kid doesn't like us following him around. Because he thinks we might be a kidnapper. Let's see, taiyaki stand. We will become intimately familiar with that taiyaki stand soon enough. And if we needed to meet the skull punks, yeah, we're like young teenager. No, I think we might actually be 16. Oddly enough. Yeah, Team Skull has changed. So we can look at them. And learn if you talk to the right one or checking him. If we can haul this kid in, our work will be done for today. And he just kind of reads around and goes, I'm not helping you. And then dude on a motorcycle shows up and tells the Team Skull guys here to lay off. Or miraculously, they are the Crusaders. I'm just passing through. And this is the Taiyaki guy. But right now, he's kind of our savior. Because of course we were going to get in a fight here. Now, Akira is incredibly freaking weak. Physically. However, he kind of makes up for it a little. Not overwhelmingly so. He has psychic powers, so he can do things like that. And the base level Crusader there is so incredibly weak. Let's look at his other thing here. The sleep image. Or not. Or Matsu there. Oh good, napalm bombs dropped. We'll need those soon. And he tells us we need to be careful. And apparently his sister is sick. And despite not even getting touched in the last battle, he gets scraped up a bit, somehow. And Matsu doesn't want to say a word. But, we can read his mind. And he thinks the Crusaders are involved in the kidnappings that have been going on lately. Are you ready? Here we go, folks. They put karaoke in this game. Imawa Mukashi no Babylonia Hagane no Kabushi ga Tengosuku Iga Ah! Dang it! I choked on my own spit. However, if you think that's the only time we're going to hear that song, you are vastly mistaken. You are very highly mistaken if you think that's the only time that song's going to show up. I will get another chance to redeem myself. And Matsu there could come in and say hi to everybody. But instead he's going to be too cool for that and run off. So, technically, we don't have to go in the house at all right now. We can go out here, but, there are fights waiting for us. You see that guy, you see all these skull people running around? Yeah, if they touch us, they will get in a fight. So let's not do that right now, because Akira will get hurt pretty badly. Yes, he wears the cape, even though that's kind of more of a coat. It's actually more of a coat than a cape. It's just a long coat. So I just need to make sure I'm not going to miss anything if I do the things normally here. And we get yelled at for being all bruised up because they know we got into another fight. Because apparently Akira gets into a lot of fights. And this is Teiko. Akira kinda sorta has a crush on her. And she's gonna go do laundry now. So we can look around like the Chibiko house. And here's the director. Who just kind of goes, lousy kids getting in fights. And Kaori is worried about a Tarokichi. Doesn't want Tarokichi to die. And you can't see it right now, but Tarokichi is a turtle who's in that box on the dresser, shelf, whatever you want to call that. So let's look through the rest here. Here is a kind of common bedroom for the little kids. Some of these boxes we can poke at and get stuff out of. Nothing here, though. And another kind of single bedroom here. The classroom we saw earlier that Akira and Kaori were brought, you know, and introduced to everybody. Another room here. And the dining room communal area where apparently they keep the TV. And we're going to look at Watanabe because apparently we were the only one in this room, in this household to grow over the past couple of years. So we're going to push Watanabe out of his seat to go make him get his medicine. And Yuki's going to steal it. So he's going to run off to go get the medicine. Now see, what would have been a nice touch is if they had talked about the wrestler from the last chapter. But they didn't. And Kazu offers to go with us next time we go fight. And tells us we can't just fight alone. And this one just wants you to get out of his head. This is near future. And the wrestler was like 80s. I don't know if we're actually dealing with far off in the future. I don't know how far off near future actually is. But it could just be like 30 years later. But anyway, we just get yelled at to wash our hands by Tycho. One thing we want to do is we find a shower cap here. And also we can activate any water source in this house to wash our hands. And over here is the toilet, which we can make use of because why not? And it doesn't penalize us for not doing it, but we might as well wash our hands after from the wrong side of the sink. Now let's see. Where'd you go, Watanabe? Oh wait. Running house here. Actually, looking at the wrestling match, the battle to end all battles has begun. Will determine that all-time champion of nationwide pro wrestling will be Misawa, will be Muto. And they're not kidding on the limited number of rounds. If we keep watching TV, they're apparently going to have the most epic freaking wrestling match in recorded history, because I got them to go way past round 20 at one point. There's Watanabe. The other thing about this is this game is kind of event flag heavy. So Yuki here gets way too excited about the wrestling and elbow spins into Akira, which smacks Watanabe a little bit. It clearly was Yuki. We just saw it. Yuki cares not for your personal well-being. She wants her seat, which isn't even the best seat, right in front of the TV. So now that we've done that, okay, what'd I miss? Hang on. Because you're supposed to be able to do something. Oh wait, like I said, this is a very flag-heavy thing. We had to talk to Watanabe one more time. Yeah, Carrie's worried about Kazu's turtle, Terokiji. And he's still upset with Yuki there. So now that we've actually talked to him one more time, the director goes somewhere else. And hearing that gives Akira an idea. He wants us to now thinks, hey, we can go talk to the old antique shop dealer who will know what to do. I like this chapter and hate it for many reasons. But now, we want to come out here. And what we want to do is avoid getting in as many fights as possible. To get over here. Because getting in fights right now does us next to no good. And the old man is in here somewhere. Old man has weird antiques on display. A lot of purple and blue and pink vases and elephants and masks everywhere. Yeah, probably named after the Toei that makes Sentai shows, yes. However, if we walk up to the bathroom door and use our psychic power... Thanks for that, game. And we yelled at him to wash his hands because he just admitted to touching it in his mind. Again, thank you, game. So we give him the rundown that the turtle's about to die, and he goes, "Leave it to me!" Because he has wisdom handed down from the ancients. And time to grant new life to Taro, or whatever it's called. And he wants to take us there using his homemade transporter. We send her tinkering at it. And he will be tinkering at that for a very long time. That is, unless we intervene. And ignore this big cracked wall, which will obviously have no relevance whatsoever. And step on the transporter. And we broke it. Good job, Akira. And all we get for that is all fiddlesticks.